The winter night stretches endlessly. The snow doesn't fall in heavy sheets, but just enough to coat every surface in a thin, icy layer, turning every inch of road into a trap. I'm used to that feeling. The cold seeping through my gloves, the dry clank of metal against metal, and the pressure tightening in my chest every time the cable begins to tension. The garbage truck lay tilted in a deep ditch, its body twisted at nearly a 35-degree angle. The entire load, about 44,000 pounds of waste, had shifted to one side, creating a dangerously off-center balance. One small miscalculation, and it would roll completely. We approached the scene through a narrow road barely wide enough for a 10-foot truck. The recovery vehicle's tires slid slightly on the snow with every turn, as if the road had lost all sense of friction. We didn't go for a direct pull right away. First, we had to assess and inspect the anchoring points on the garbage truck. The decision was made to use multiple layers of chains and winches to secure the rear and body, preventing a full rollover during the recovery. Initially, we set up a double-line pull system using pulleys, amplifying the pulling force to nearly 80,000 pounds. Two main anchor points were secured to the rear structural frame, while an auxiliary line stabilized the body and wheels to control rotation. Every chain was tightened, every connection checked by hand. There was no room for assumption.
Обязательно должен. Осторожно, глушитель помнешь.
Это точно.
As the cables tightened, the truck moved only a few inches, but those were the most critical inches. When it reached a half-standing, half-lying position, the real problem appeared. Then it happened. The hydraulic system started leaking. Pressure dropped fast. Everything stalled. There was no choice but to maintain minimal pressure, adjust slowly, and pull inch by inch. After more than 4 hours, with hydraulic fluid nearly depleted, the truck finally returned to the road. We then used the winch to guide the front of the truck back into alignment.
Придется гидравлику еще раз включить. Бриль поднять, его все равно. Хорош, походу.
Походу, да.
Under falling snow, the garbage truck was finally recovered and towed away. And in that moment, when everything seemed to depend purely on brute force, we realized something else. What kept the truck from flipping wasn't greater strength, but how precisely we controlled every pound of force acting on it. More power isn't always the answer. Control, applied in the right direction, at the right moment, is what separates balance from collapse. In the freezing blizzard night, calls for help kept coming in. We responded to a scene 40 miles away, a straight truck and a tractor trailer both involved in an accident at a sharp curve. The 38-foot truck blocked the road completely, its front end locked, front axle destroyed. In a space of barely 50 feet, every inch had to be calculated. The rotator was positioned at a 20-degree offset from the vehicle's axis to create rotational force. The main line pulled the frame, while a secondary line controlled the rear to prevent it from sweeping into active lanes. The force wasn't massive, only around 30,000 to 40,000 pounds, but it had to be exact. The truck rotated piece by piece, angle by angle. When the wheels finally aligned with the road again, relief didn't come instantly, just a slow release of pressure. After sustained effort, the truck was cleared and removed from the highway. The next morning, the storm had eased, but the aftermath remained. We received a call about a truck that had crossed the median and nearly hit an overpass. The initial plan was to use 2 rotators, each capable of over 100,000 pounds, to lift and slide the truck back over the barrier. Cables were set on both ends, front and rear, and both rotators began lifting in near-perfect synchronization. The booms extended, maintaining stable angles as the cables tightened under loads exceeding 100,000 pounds. The truck didn't jerk upward, it was slowly lifted out of its own inertia. It moved gradually toward the shoulder. When the gap narrowed to just inches, we began lowering while gently sliding it. But the plan failed. The space was too tight, the rear encroached into an active lane. We had to adapt. A new plan was formed almost instantly. Abandon the rear pull and focus entirely on the front to realign the vehicle's axis. A high-capacity chain assembly was secured to the front structural point. As tension built, the front began to shift out of the danger zone. The force increased step by step, reaching tens of thousands of pounds, enough to overcome friction and the inertia of the entire vehicle behind it. Every inch remained under control. As the vehicle straightened, we reduced tension, stabilized, and lowered. The wheels touched the ground in alignment, no longer blocking traffic. In life's blizzard nights, we often try to force our way through with raw strength. But in reality, success comes from patience, calculating every inch. A perfect plan may fail under real conditions. But those who endure don't stop to complain, they adjust, adapt, and continue. In the end, success isn't luck. It's the result of persistence, where every small margin of error is controlled with responsibility and calm. A tanker lay overturned, over 40 feet long, fully loaded with milk, total weight exceeding 100,000 pounds. But the real danger wasn't the weight. It was time. Temperatures were dropping. The milk could freeze at any moment. Airbags weren't an option in muddy snow conditions. We had to dig manually, threading straps around the tank, inch by inch.
What do you want? How do you want it? I need to put this in.
Chains were attached to the wheels to assist with lifting. We began by offloading weight. After more than an hour, it dropped to around 55,000 pounds. 2 cranes, rated at 140,000 and 110,000 pounds, were positioned at different angles to create synchronized lift. Boom angles were constantly adjusted to prevent denting the tank or twisting the frame. During the lift, combined force exceeded 120,000 pounds. The truck didn't rise easily. It resisted like a living mass of metal. But then, it lifted, slowly, heavily. The moment the wheels touched the ground again, everything seemed to pause for a few seconds. In extreme situations, time is the invisible enemy. Reducing load at the right moment, coordinating at the right rhythm, that's the only way to turn the impossible into reality.
Edge of the intersection, so we'll get him followed in. We'll probably take.
After every successful recovery, the echo of those tensioned cables lingers in my mind. Every scratch on the vehicle, every slow inch of movement, is a mark of decisions made in silence, under pressure no one else sees. There's no room for error there, only skill, experience, and the belief that things can still be pulled back. Even at the very last moment, If you felt the tension in every moment, if you see the true value behind this quiet work, leave a like to support us. Don't forget to subscribe for more intense journeys ahead, and share your thoughts below. Because sometimes, your perspective might reveal a story we've never told.